Now look at this news article. This article talks about food wastage. Now currently it is in news because of a report released by UNEP. So from the mains perspective, we have to look at the important facts from the article. So before that, we shall see about the syllabus under which this topic falls. So and in prelims it covers and it comes under environment sustainable development goals, and under mains it will be coming under GS paper 2 as well as GS paper 3. In GS paper 2 under governance it will be there, and GS paper 3 it will be under food security. Now moving on, we shall see about why what the report is actually telling. So the UNEP Food Wastage Index report 2024 has been released, and it reveals that 1.05 billion tons of food is wasted globally in 2023, and India is among the top contributors. See, India, we have the highest population in the world, and when it comes to the highest population, the food production is also maximum. When the food production is maximum, the wastage is also maximum, and we cannot neglect that. And due to that factor, India is among the one of the top contributor when it comes to food wastage, and 78 million tons of food is annually wasted in our country. This includes wedding ceremonies and lot of ceremonies as well. Moving on, we shall see about key facts about this food waste index report of 2024. It is released by UNEP and WRAP, and it defines food waste as a removal of food from the human food supply chain. And there is a very sharp difference between food wastage as well as food loss. When we talk about food loss, it happens due to improper storage of the produce that happens after that is taken from a land. So we'll be cultivating crops, and the cultivated crops will be harvested, and post harvest they will be processed a little bit, and it will be transported or it will be stored, right? So during this process, even before entering the retail market or the wholesale market, the wastage that is happening is called food loss. So it will not even reach the market itself, so those will be called as food loss. And the other thing, after reaching the market and even after the consumption, certain things which are not used to do, which cannot be consumed, so those kinds of losses will be called as the food wastage. Now moving on, we shall see about India's position. So India is the second largest highest food wastage nation after China. First comes China, and next comes India. So the per capita when we talk about the per capita waste, India has 55 kilograms per year. So if you are taking a person, if you're taking an individual as a me, if I'm a person, I will be wasting 55 kilograms per year, which is the highest. And the United Nations, they waste literally 73 kilograms per year. Now moving on, we shall see about what measures are. Now we shall see about how these food wastage will have an impact on environment. See, actually food production is a resource intensive thing, so which means a lot of time, energy as well as capital is involved in food production. So the food wastage will account to 10 to 12% of municipal waste in India, and it generates methane emission, which is a potent greenhouse gas, and it will contribute to 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emission. So this is a very big drawback when it comes to resource intensive products. So when it is resource intensive, it will bring a very big impact on environment. It will lead to pollution, it will lead to depletion in the first place and to produce. So after production also it will lead to pollution. And the second issue is, despite being the major producer of food, India is even struggling for food accessibility. It is not properly decentralized, and all the individual is not actually getting the adequate food that they require. And when we talk about the food wastage, it will hinder the process towards sustainable development goal 2, which is zero hunger, then sustainable development goal 12.3, which is reducing food wastage at retail and consumption level. Now moving on, we shall see about what can be done. This is with respect to household level. So we have to smart meal planning. So smart meal planning is nothing but you have to prepare a list of what you're going to consume for the particular week or a particular month. Particular week will be less time consuming. So based on your schedule, you have to buy groceries, which will lead to very reduced wastage of food. Secondly, we have to bring in effective storage. So even after planning lot of things, if the storage is not done properly at the household level, it will lead to wastage, which will again contribute to per capita wastage. So we have to store it properly. So thirdly, we have to bring in creative leftover usage. See, there is a lot of even after food, even after being non-edible, it can be used in different ways, so that we can reduce the wastage that goes into landfills. So this can be done. We can bring in compost pit, we can bring in we can recycle it for n number of times if we cannot consume it. So those kinds of creative leftover usages can be done, and we can bring in composting, as I said. And finally, we have to donate surplus food. So for donation also, a lot of NGOs are there. We can bring in lot of tie-ups, we can bring connect all the NGOs, so that we can give the surplus food which is going to waste. So when we talk about the systematic level, we have to bring in a lot of infrastructure development. So this infrastructure development will reduce the pressure that is put on the environment. And secondly, we have to bring in a lot of business initiatives. So there are a lot of businesses that work based on the food waste itself. For example, there is a business where people grow worms. These worms will be feeded to hens. So these worms can be grown using the food waste that is generated. So those kinds of business initiatives can be appreciated, and for that we have to bring in a lot of research and development. And again, government has to give incentive according in that particular part as well. And then we have to bring a lot of education and awareness. We can even train, we can make even smaller kids to learn about it, and we can help them to grow with the awareness mentality. And we can bring a lot of government in policies. For example, we can bring in subsidized food redistribution network. Remember this redistribution network. We can bring in better storage facilities, expand initiatives like save food, share food. So we can do those kinds of things. So finally, we can tell that food wastage is a very important part that we have to focus on. And when we are talking about India, not only pollution through air is a pollution, but also pollution through land is a very important thing. And main contributor is food wastage. So we have to reduce food wastage, so that we can reduce the carbon footprint, and we can bring in lot of food security and make food accessible to each and every individual in our country. So for that, we have to bring in lot of collaborative effort from government, businesses and individuals. So these are all very important facts that I have to remember from this article. So based on the article discussion, we have framed a mains question for you. You can quickly go through the question, and you can write an answer and post it in the comment section.